What's happening, everybody? Welcome into week 3 of the Sunday Social on the Fantasy Six Pack Network. I'm your host today, Dylan Clemons, and guys, we have a loaded lineup for you. We have Matt here with us talking NFL betting for week 3, kicking the show off. Then we have Joe Bond, founder of Fantasy Six Pack and multiple-time top 5 ranker, coming in to discuss his rankings for a nice 15-minute segment. And then we got Kyle Senra, myself, and Ike Bonnie doing the start, and Keith Fleming doing the start-sit portion of the show for an hour, answering all your start-sit questions. But first, let's jump in to this betting segment with Matt. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Last week was pretty good for me in the NFL. Went over 500, and so far, this week's been good for college. So hopefully we can keep that. Hopefully we can keep that trend rolling.
I'm happy for you, man, because I have not had a good a week of football. I watched the Bears get 52 points dropped on them, Matt, against the Lions last Sunday. And then I saw 63 points dropped on my Illinois Fighting Illini last night by Indiana in a game which, I thought it was going to be a good game, and it was just a complete and utter debacle. So I'm glad you're doing good, man, from your football standpoint.
You know what, though, Dylan? Actually, I did. That was one of my losses. I picked Illinois to actually hit the money line on that. So that was one of my big oopsie doopsies.
I don't blame you, man. The line looked good, 6.5 too, and Illinois has looked pretty good. They beat up on Duke a couple weeks ago, but their secondary just ended up getting beat up, man. Bielema said after the game they were down 6 of their top 7 defensive backs by the end of the game. So
that's rough.
I mean, they still would have lost, obviously, but I mean that makes it a lot worse. But what could you do? But all right, man. How about you just go ahead and jump into your best bets here for this beautiful Sunday?
So the first one I'm taking here is I'm taking Tampa Bay -7 in this matchup, playing the Jets. Listen, I think unless I've heard, I think Justin Fields is out for today, right? I know he's expected not to play. Okay, so he is out.
Tyrod Taylor, baby.
Tyrod Taylor is, and here's the deal: he's a serviceable backup. He's been in the NFL for a long time. But the way I look at these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even with a little bit of a banged up Emeka Egbuka, who is expected to play today, they're just gritty. I don't know if you heard Baker Mayfield's interview last week, but someone asked him in like how is this team so tough, and he says we just don't take no bleep from anybody. So the grittiness of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with the leadership of Baker Mayfield, they've all bought into it. I do think that we start to see a little bit uptick in offense for them. I know it's been kind of iffy the last couple weeks, but I like Tampa Bay -7, and I'm not afraid of this line at all against the Jets.
I like that. Does it give you any pause with the report of Emeka Egbuka being a little bit limited today? Maybe him being on a pitch count. What are your thoughts there? Does that give you a little worry, or do you think that they'll still get the offense rolling today?
Well, I mean, I will say that for fantasy purposes, I think it gives you a little bit cause for concern, but Mike Evans really has not been the dog that we've seen him so far this year. He's going to get his. I know Sauce Gardner's there, but I think Mike Evans is better. I don't think Sauce Gardner's as cracked up as everybody portrays him to be, and he's not going to be guarding him every single play.
It's not rookie season Sauce Gardner where everything was great. He was getting away with all the hand stuff, being physical with the receivers. That just hasn't been the case. It seems like the last couple of seasons and to start this year. So I'm kind of with you there, man, for sure.
Yeah. So
what do you got for your? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, So I'm fully on Tampa Bay this week. -7 doesn't scare me too much.
Love it. What do you got? What do you got here for your second best bet?
I'm going to take a bet that one of my co-hosts put out on our podcast, and I'm going to take the Vikings -3. I think the lines jumped to -3. I think it opened at 2.5. I think that's when he took it. It opened at 1.5, then went to 2.5, and he took it at 2.5. Now it's at -3. Some betting sites, you get it at 3.5. I really like the -3 number, which is at what it's at currently. It's the battle of the backup quarterbacks, right? You have Carson Wentz and Jake Browning. Both have been in the NFL for a few years now. Both are serviceable backups. I'm going to take the experience with Carson Wentz. he's been on multiple different teams. He has been on a Super Bowl winning team. He led that team to the Super Bowl before Nick Foles took it over and became the MVP of the Super Bowl. The weapons that they both have on both offenses are both elite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mason this week, I think, is going to have a killer week for the Vikings. You have Justin Jefferson. You know Carson Wentz is going to feed the ball. And I think there's going to be an uptick in TJ Hawkinson. Carson Wentz is very, careful. He's a careful quarterback. And I don't know that he's going to sling the ball as much as what you would see J.J. McCarthy do. I think Carson Wentz is a smart quarterback. They're playing at home. The Bengals defense is notoriously not that good. The Vikings have a better defense. So I think the Bengals will struggle a little bit more on offense than the Vikings will. So I'm going to take the Vikings -3.
I like that one quite a bit too, Matt. And from a fantasy standpoint, we like Jake Browning as a quarterback. He's serviceable, gets Jamar Chase, T. Higgins touches still.
Right.
But that guy's a gunslinger, man. And against Minnesota's defense that likes to blitz, likes to try to force turnovers, put pressure on the quarterback, there's plenty of opportunities for turnovers for this Vikings defense. And I think you're right on here taking the Vikings, man, for sure.
Yep, I like it.
So what do you got here for your next one?
My last game here that I'm going to give you guys, and hopefully this makes Mr. Joe Bond happy. I'm going to take the Commanders -2.5. I'm pretty sure it's what the number is in DraftKings. You can get it at -2.5. MGM's -3. FanDuel's -3. I like the 2.5 here. You can get it at 2.5 at Bet365 if that's legal where you are at. Listen, Marcus Mariota, when he came in last, I think it was, I don't remember how many games he played last year for the Commanders, but I know he came in.
Yeah.
I think this is the week that we start to finally see Terry McLaurin get a little thing going here, right? We need to see some more from Terry McLaurin. We know he is one of the most elite wide receivers in the league. Last year, he started slow. This year, he started slow. I think we're going to start seeing something from Terry McLaurin this week. They're playing the Raiders. They're at home. We know what the Raiders have been the last couple of weeks. Do I think they're going to score some points? I do think they will score some points, but I think we're going to see something from Mariota today with Zach Ertz, McLaurin, Jacory Krosky-Merritt. He could get some things going this week. I really like the number at -2.5 with the Commanders being at home. That just feels like a very juicy number to me, and I think they are a better team. So I'm going to take the Commanders -2.5 in this spot.
All right. I love it. I love it. And you said it perfectly, man. Mariota is totally serviceable. Washington's the better team, I believe, as well. I think they're going to be just fine at home. Matt, before we get you out of here, I wanted to do something a little different here. I already placed 3 bets this week, and they were not any of the 3 that you mentioned. So I kind of just want to throw them at you real quick, and I want you to let me know if I'm an idiot or if you have some similar thoughts here. For these games. First, I went with your Pittsburgh Steelers. I took them on the money line -125 over at DraftKings, beating the Patriots. I think the Steelers defense just bounces back here, man, after a very slow start the first 2 weeks against the young quarterback in Drake May. So what are your thoughts here on this Steelers Patriots game and Steelers going on the road?
Well, I don't hate it because I'm a Steelers fan, Dylan. Personally, I just wanted to stay away from the game this week because of the reasoning that you said. The Steelers defense hasn't looked good the first couple weeks. You know, they went in, they bought all this talent, right? They brought in all these, older veterans to make a run for the Super Bowl, in my opinion. So they're all proven players, but they just have not put it out on the field yet. So it makes me a little nervous. Do I think that their defense can stop the young offense of the Patriots if they can get things going? Yes. I think there is so much experience out on that defensive front for the Steelers. They could get things to hopefully go to stop Drake May. But until I see it, I have a little bit of a concern with the Steelers. Yeah. I don't hate your bet, though. I don't hate it.
Okay. No, that's totally fair, man. And I just think that I know the Steelers defensive line hasn't quite put it together this year, but I feel like they have a big time advantage with their defensive line and the Patriots offensive line. So that's another big reason why I went there. And this next one here is a little spicy, man. I took the Titans on the money line at plus 164 over the Colts. I think the Colts are a little fraudulent still, man. I can't help but compare them to what we saw from the Saints last year when they came out firing on all cylinders, 2-0, putting up 1,000,000 points, and then they just fell apart. And I feel like that could be Indy, because I feel like we know who Daniel Jones is at this point in his career, man. So what are your thoughts about this Tennessee Indianapolis game here?
Well, Dylan, I took the Titans as my dog parlay bet this week on our podcast. So I did take the Titans as well. And I kind of agree with you. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Colts are necessarily fraudulent. Maybe was it the case of Daniel Jones just not having someone to walk him through, coach him through things, right? Sure. He does look like a serviceable quarterback now. But I do agree that the Titans, Cam Ward, I think is going to get some things going. Right now, it doesn't look pretty. They are playing at home, so taking the Titans on the money line, it's not terribly scary. What's scary to me is that this game opened up at 1.5, and it's jumped up to +5 for the Titans. And now at DraftKings, it's +5.5. I took the Titans at +3, so that number scares me a little bit that it's jumped up that much in the matter of 3 days. But again, I do think Cam Ward will eventually get things going. It's just kind of, I'm still at that point where I'm just kind of waiting to see what the Colts are. Like it's just like it doesn't feel real to me. So, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is a big part of that. He has been killing it this year. Daniel Jones has looked like a good quarterback. So that's kind of
odd for sure.
It's kind of scary.
I feel you, man. And then the last one I got for you is, this one surprised me. And I know they haven't looked good, but I still feel like this defense is elite. And the Texans were plus 105 going on the road against the Jaguars. So I took the Texans at that number. Do you think this Texans offense gets going here, man? Do you think that's an all right bet, or were you kind of on the Jaguar side of this one?
To be honest with you, I am kind of on the Jaguar side of this. Okay. What is CJ Stroud? Where are we at with this guy? He was great his rookie year. Second year took a little tumble. There was a lot of injuries on that offense. This year you have no Joe Mixon. You've got Nick Chubb, Nico Collins. Like, there were some passes that CJ threw last week that I was just like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, what?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Who are you throwing to? Right. Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the league. Then you go and you get a guy like Jaden Higgins. Where are you going to start involving him? He should be a talent that can give you some production, but he just kind of seems obsolete from this offense. So I don't know really what to think about CJ Stroud this year or the Texans. Their defense is phenomenal. They have a very good defense, and I think that's what keeps them in games. But this line here, Dylan, I think this line jumped. Yeah, so it was favored. The Texans were favored at -1.5 when it opened, and now they're dogs. I guess they're on the road. They're on the road, but same with the Jaguars. What's this team look like, right? Where's BTJ been for 2 weeks straight?
That's crazy as well, man.
I don't necessarily hate the bet, because both these teams is kind of like a coin flip to me in this specific game. I would personally lean the Jags, but I don't hate taking the Texans. They could very easily come in here and destroy the Jaguars. You just don't know. This is one of those coin flip games to me.
Yep. And I'm super curious to see and I know he's a little bit older, but Christian Kirk, a little bit of a revenge game here, and he is active, going to be in the slot. So I wonder if that gives a little bit of a safety blanket to Stroud that he's been missing since Tank Dell has been out. Maybe we see Stroud take the step forward that we've seen in the past here in this game. Hopefully that's what I'm hoping for, man. But man, their offensive line has just been so bad, and we knew it coming into the year, and I just kind of completely ignored it because Nico Collins was one of my favorite, most targeted players, and obviously he's a stud, man. But they can't get the ball to him down the field any longer because the offensive line just hasn't been able to hold up. But hopefully that gets clicking for my bet this week.
I do like that take.
Sure. Awesome. But all right, Matt, we'll get you out of here, my man. But before we do, please let everyone know where they could find your work and what you got going on.
Yeah, guys, if you guys want to check us out on the audio side of things, you can head over to Spotify. You can head over to Apple Podcasts. Look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. That's where we are with the audio stuff. If you guys like following the video stuff, we are live every single Tuesday with our bets. You can head over to Fantasy Six Pack, click that notification bell and the subscribe button, lets you guys know when we go live. Or you can check us out at fantasysixpack.net, become an all-access member. You can chat with us on Discord and see all of our bets there.
Love it, Matt. Great stuff as always, my friend, and looking forward to talking to you next week. Good luck.
All right,
today.
guys. Yep. See ya.
All right, guys. As we transition to the next segment, I just want to remind everyone, if you're listening, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It really helps us in the algorithm. Algorithm gets us more views, more eyes on our content. And then head on over to fantasysixpack.net/plans, become an all-access member, and that's where you get access to Mr. Joe Bond's award-winning rankings. You get access to our Discord, guys, which is truly the best part. Throw all your lineup questions in there, and I promise somebody will be there to answer your questions. It truly is great stuff. We got cheat sheets, too, coming for NBA and NHL fantasy drafts coming up here within, I want to say they got to be starting here in a couple weeks, Joe. So
hopefully you can get some rankings popped up here. But yeah, NBA stuff is rolling out here as well. So
yeah, man, looking forward to it. And that's go check it out. That's fantasysixpack.net/plans over there. So Joe, how you doing, my friend, this morning on this beautiful
good, man. Got another busy Sunday. Kid's birthday party this afternoon. So
it's always a busy one. Yeah, we were talking pre-show. I had my niece's birthday party yesterday. Was happy that they decided to do it on a Saturday, not a Sunday, to miss out on.
Yeah, I didn't have that luxury.
Dang, it happens though, man. It happens. But Joe, let's jump right into your rankings this week. And just to let everyone know, we are going to start doing something a little bit different next week with this segment. But for now, this week we're going to keep it to how we've been doing it. And we're going to jump right into things with Mr. Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who's had a very good surprise start to the season. Joe, we weren't quite sure what was going to happen with the Jaguars backfield, but he has kind of taken the lead there with a little bit of Byshell Tootin. You have him 4 spots lower, though, this week than consensus. So what's giving you a little bit of pause here on Travis Etienne going against a pretty good, stout defense of the Texans?
Yeah, I think what's doing it for ETN here, and I'm trying to look up a stat that I'm not finding for some weird reason. Houston's run defense hasn't been phenomenal, right? But I think what's hurting him this week in the rankings, right, is we're getting a boost in Kenneth Walker, we're getting a boost in Jordan Mason, right? Like we're getting a boost on a couple of guys who just have dropped him a couple of spots. So he's negative, what you said, -4.
Yep.
I mean, we saw a little bit of extra usage for Byshell Tootin last week, as you said. And I think there's still hope that, how you beat the Texans right now is in the air. And so hopefully Lawrence can get things going here. Brian Thomas Jr. hopefully get things going. Let's go. I need that one pretty bad. So,
Joe.
Look, ETN's awesome. Still startable running back in most cases. I just, I do just, like I said, it's really just that, a couple of guys got massive boosts this week because their split backfield, partner is not there. So
sure.
That's
like,
where he drops, Yeah,
he had to move Ken Walker up with the Zach Charbonnet news. But
Absolutely.
Joe, since we're talking about Jaguars, let me ask you, man, and I'm just throwing it on you here. What is your panic meter at with Brian Thomas? Because it sounds like you're a Brian Thomas owner, and last season we didn't even really see BTJ break out until it was Mac Jones once Trevor Lawrence went down with the injury. So are you starting to get a little worried about this connection between Trevor and Brian Thomas? Like, where's the panic meter at for you?
Probably like a 5, 6.
Okay.
It's
Still
mid. We get another week of this, and it's probably going to go 7. It's getting up there. Like the one thing I'll say, people are like, oh, Brian Thomas Jr. sucks. Honestly, like I don't know how much of this is on Brian Thomas Jr. You look at this, and he's got, what is it? Something like 18 targets on the year, something like that. 19 targets. 50% of those have been catchable targets.
Oh.
So like, it's not him to me. Like, it's Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has to settle down. And I don't know if they're just not on the same page. So maybe it is a little bit of Brian Thomas Jr. not running correct routes, that kind of thing. I don't study the tape quite like that. But Trevor Lawrence has got to find the ball. I mean, he's able to get the ball to Parker Washington, to De'Ami Brown, to these guys. These two got to figure it out. Brian Thomas Jr. is clearly the better talent out of those three.
No.
Travis Hunter, he's evolved. Also not getting 79% catchable targets for him, but 100% catchable target rate for Parker Washington, 100% catchable target rate for De'Ami Brown. Like, come on, man. Something's got to get – this has to get better. This would be like an all-time low, I would imagine, for like catchable targets for a starting receiver like that. So I think it's going to get better starting this week, honestly.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Jumping over to the next guy, go to the wide receiver position for these next 4, actually. We got Keenan Allen, Joe, who's been kind of a big surprise here. He's a guy who didn't sign until, I want to say, mid-August, but going back to Los Angeles to reunite with Justin Herbert.
Great.
And it's been good. Joe, you have 6 spots higher than consensus. So consensus is a little lagging behind here, but it is a tough matchup against Denver. So what are your thoughts here on Keenan Allen this week?
It is. And, I got asked this one on the Fantasy 6-Pack Hour on Thursday night. So kind of ready for this one. Look, he's the third receiver as far as snaps, but he's number 1 in targets. He's the leader on that team that's Quentin Johnson, but he's the leader in targets on that team. Justin Herbert and him clearly have a relationship there that's working. The one thing I'll say, right, is that yes, it's a little risky because he is on the field less, but he's not going to get the Surtain, right? That's going to be Quentin Johnston this week, almost 100%, I would imagine. He'll obviously Surtain will go where he needs to go, but I can't imagine that they're going to go, oh, Keenan Allen's in the game, go cover the 30-year-old, and leave this this monster of a receiver over here open that's just been killing everybody.
Sure.
Like, I know Keenan Allen's been doing great, but they're not going to move Surtain over to him. So Keenan Allen's going to get slot corners and that kind of stuff, and he's going to be able to take advantage of that.
All right. Love it, man. Love it. Love your confidence in Allen this week. Next guy here, Mr. Terry McLaurin from your Washington Commanders. But a slow start, Joe. I think it's safe to say Debo's been more involved in the offense. There was in week 1, Jaden Daniels did have Terry open on a long ball, just missed him. So maybe we'd be singing different praises here from than what we are right now. So what's giving you excitement here this week about Terry McLaurin being 7 spots higher than
Vegas? They've allowed 45.5 points to opposing receivers on average this year. I mean, one was the Chargers. I'm blanking on who they played week 1.
The Patriots.
They're like, come on, man. If they're going to be able to do it, and I know it's Mariota, but just as Matt was saying, like, he's a serviceable backup.
Yes.
He's done well when needed to get into the game. Does it hurt like the ceiling of these guys? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe because there'll be a little less running, I believe, from the quarterback position at this point.
Sure.
Mariota's not going to take off like Daniels would. He will, but he's not going to do quite that. So I think they're going to have to rely on the drop back pass a little bit more with Mariota there, and that's gonna play right into McLaurin. And then I do think with, and I'm just going to say this, I think Debo gets a boost this week because I do think they're going to get some like designed screens, some designed passes or runs to him.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, the run game is not clicking right now. And you can see it. I mean, when you're trying to use Eckler at this point as a 3-down back, I mean, that's not good. And now he's not there. So Bill looked okay in week 1, but did not look good last week. And then when Eckler was gone, he didn't even get in the game. It was Jeremy McNichols. So I'm totally dumbfounded as to what's going to happen in this backfield.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, man. And obviously they traded Brian Robinson in the offseason because of the log jam at the position. But as soon as you get one injury, man, you wish you still had that depth there. And I'm not a big fan of Brian Robinson, but he could have helped the backfield situation.
Yeah, that was a bizarre move for me. I don't really understand it.
Yeah. Next guy, Joe. Everybody seems to be in on Tetaroa McMillan on an offense that, let's be honest, is not good. Their offensive line is banged up too, with the Carolina Panthers losing, I want to say, 2 offensive linemen for the season earlier this week. And Joe, you're down on Tetaroa McMillan, 7 spots lower, taking on Atlanta this week in an NFC South showdown. So what are your thoughts here on T-Mac here against the Falcons?
So Keith's sitting here in the background, and he just left. So I was hoping he would hear this, and I'd get the little fist pump from him here. There he comes back. Would it surprise you to know that Atlanta's pass defense is ranked 2nd on DVOA?
That would surprise me, yes.
Yeah. So they're pretty solid, man. I heard Keith say it on one of his podcasts. I don't know, but remember which one. He's on so many. I love the guy. Like the Falcons have loaded up on defense the last couple of drafts, and it's showing at this point. I think this is going to be a bit of a struggle game for the Panthers this week against that Falcons defense, which is really surprising people. McMillan's awesome, but Bryce Young has not looked good. Look, the final stat line last week looked okay. 55 pass attempts. That's hard to reproduce. So,
yep. I'm with you, man. Yeah, I feel that. I don't mind, especially with that nugget you threw at me about Atlanta's pass defense. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with you moving McMillan down there then. Then the last guy here I wanted to bring up is Mr. Chris Olave from the New Orleans Saints, Joe, who you have 5 spots higher. Spencer Rattler's looked, I wouldn't say good, but he's looked serviceable. He's looked solid. He's been able to distribute to his pass catchers, mostly to Juwan Johnson. He's made him into, I mean, I would say probably, I don't know where you have him ranked in your tight ends, but he's got to be a top 8 guy now, at least, right, at the position, Juwan Johnson?
I got him right around 9.
Okay, no, that's fair.
So very close, very close.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Chris Olave here?
I mean, I think we're liking the target share. We're seeing, 11.5 targets on average per game. So you love that, especially in PPR formats. I think in half PPR formats, he drops a little bit, but in those full PPR formats, you're loving the target share. The production maybe not as great as we're hoping because touchdowns are going to Juwan Johnson and things like that. But you like this. Now, Seattle's pass defense is fairly solid so far this year. It's super early, but I'm looking at a points per game allowed to receivers, and they are number 1. So that's going to be a rough go of it. So maybe a little optimistic here. I don't memorize their schedule early on. I feel like they haven't had a bunch of juggernaut games. I'm trying to think here.
Seattle played San Francisco week 1 and then played New England last week, right?
No, Steelers.
Steelers last week. There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, the 49ers kind of stumbled out of the blocks there.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
With all the receiver stuff that they had going on.
Yeah.
And then Kittle got hurt in that game, I believe, right? So that hurts them. But, still, that's a good offense to shut down. The Steelers, I don't think anybody was expecting it, and I kind of called that last week. Nobody was expecting that week 1 to reproduce from them.
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers only out here trying to play the Jets, apparently. So that's that. The Saints offense, not great, but I just think they're trying to air it out, man. That's all they want to do. And so you're just getting volume, and that's going to play in PPR leagues.
I love it, man. Volume is king, as you said, in PPR leagues. So, all right, Joe, great stuff as always, my man. Before we get you out of here, please let everyone know where they could find your awesome work, man.
Yeah, obviously fantasy6pack.net is where you're going to find the majority of my stuff. Over there on Twitter /X, F6P_Joe. Jump in the Discord. If you're an all access member, you're going to get all the direct questions asked, answered by myself and the rest of the staff. And then I do drop a couple articles over on USA Today every week. One drops on Monday, and I think it sounds like they moved the other one to Saturday now. So, but yeah, all good. Got lots of stuff out there. Good luck, guys, for the rest of the show.
Ike Bonnie, Kyle Senra, what's up, boys? Good to see you. Let's got a bunch of questions loading in the tank, so let's just jump right into things. And the first one here from Andrea, we got PPR, 2 spots to fill. Brian Thomas Jr. after a slow start. Mike Evans, a little bit of a slow start as well. Devontae Adams or Keenan Allen here. Keith, we'll let you kick it off here. You're up top. What are your thoughts here on this? Do you guys think it's start 2, or do we think it's just one out of them?
Let's try both. Maybe we could even just rank them 1 through 4, and then that way.
Sure. Okay. Keith, go ahead.
I think Keith's on mute, to be honest.
Yeah, Keith, you're muted. Kyle, lead us off, my man.
So I've got Devontae as the 1, and maybe that's just because he's not been as disappointing as the others, like Evans and Brian Thomas Jr. were expecting more. Igbuka's injury though today, I wonder if that changes it. Just more targets for Evans than what he's been getting. So I think I go Adams for sure as the 1. That'd be my number 1 on this list.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there as well. Ike, you're not in agreement too. Is that?
Yeah, I would do Devontae. Then probably Mike Evans after him.
Okay. And then, guys, I know I talked to Joe a little bit earlier. I don't know if you heard about it, but Kyle, I'll start with you. What is your panic meter on Brian Thomas here? Is this the week that if you have a serviceable option that you're okay just sitting on the bench? Would you start Keenan Allen over Brian Thomas, let's say?
No, not against the Denver defense.
Okay.
I know Allen's been earning a lot of targets, but I just don't think the upside's there. To me, Allen's easily the 4th out of this. I'm still chasing the upside on Thomas and Mike Evans. So I'm going to be willing to give him a week. Especially with Brian Thomas Jr. He plays the Texans. We know that he'll play the Texans again. So this is a really good, okay, what does he do against this defense? And if he can't, then we know certainly next time they play the Texans, it could be a bench. But that also means at this point, if he's earning targets and not getting catches, we have to just accept that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be judging him based on the targets. We should really be judging him based on the production. Maybe I'm willing right now to just give him another week because of the targets. Sorry.
His expected fantasy points are top 5 at wide receiver. So, in my opinion, sitting him is a huge mistake. You drafted him early. I think you have to give it a few more weeks before you get into panic, because just think about it. If you drafted Brian Thomas where you did, which was probably in the first 2 rounds, and you sit him week 3 and he goes off, you're going to feel like a moron. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow if he ends up, having another bad game, but it's the expected fantasy points that are big to me. There hasn't been this kind of disparity in expected fantasy points at really any position in quite some time. And usually those things even out. He's getting red zone, everything is there. They've just got to get a better connection. Remember, this is a new offense. He's been a little banged up. I can't sit him. And then, about the Devontae Adams, I think he is, though, above Brian Thomas, just because this is the most condensed offense in football, and it's even more condensed in the passing game than we imagined, where it's basically just Puka and Devontae, and they're such good receivers that they take away attention, to where they're both feasting. We saw that week 1 where Adams' numbers didn't match up to his targets and route participation and everything, and then what did he do in week 2? He went nuclear. So I would have Adams 1 and then Thomas 2, but these are great receivers. And I also think Mike Evans is another guy that not a good week this week because of the matchup, but I expect Mike Evans to come on like a freight train here in the next few weeks, especially when Wirfs gets back.
Sure. maybe it's this week too with Mike Evans, man, with the Igbokwe being on a little bit of a pitch count here, dealing with the hip and dealing with something else as well. So maybe we see the Mike Evans breakout a little bit today. Next one here, I love the Randy Savage picture here. Hey guys, pick 2 in full PPR format this week. We got DeAndre Swift, Tyler Warren, and Ramondre Stevenson after a big week for the Patriots. Kyle, we'll let you take this one away. Pick 2.
And I already asked Savage Elbow in the chat when he first came up in the comments. Wait, you're flexing Tyler Warren. Who's your tight end? Oh, it's Trey McBride. I'm probably playing bully tight end and just playing both most weeks, especially in full PPR. We expect them to get a lot of targets. Swift with the injury, just don't know what the usage is going to be like today. It's in theory a great matchup against the Cowboys. And Stevenson, still don't know what the split's going to be. He definitely got more work last week, but then it wasn't the case week 1. Like, was that just a matchup thing? So I want to gather more before I'm saying I'm going to start Stevenson. But the one league I have him in this week, I'm benching him, and it's a start 12. So there's I'm picking 12 guys to start over him. So I'm pretty easily going Warren here.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, man. I'm skeptical myself on Ramondre. We got to see him do it at least a couple of times.
But aren't we picking 2? Because I mean, like, I agree, Warren's the guy, but Stevenson would be second for me. Don't forget, this Pittsburgh defense is awful, like really bad. And if you look at what the Jets and the Seahawks have done in their other matchups this year, where like they averaged over 6 yards per play versus Pittsburgh, barely averaged over 3 yards per play in their other games. And the biggest problem is like teams are just running on them. I mean, Breece Hall had maybe the best day of his career week 1. And then Kenneth Walker last week averaged over 8 yards per carry. And the big issue right now in New England is Travion Henderson is struggling pass blocking. And that was why everybody assumed he would come in immediately and, take over his backfield because he's more talented. Like, there's no doubt about that. But if you can't protect a quarterback like Drake May, who is their franchise guy, that's going to eat into his snaps. And we saw that last week with Stevenson being on the field a lot more. So I feel good playing Stevenson until Henderson, figures it out. And I think that once he learns how to pass block, he's going to take over that backfield, but I don't think it's going to be this week.
Is it the injury that scares you away from Swift a little bit, Keith, or do you have Stevenson over Swift now?
I have Stevenson over Swift. I mean, Chicago, I think they're going to be moving to Monahay more and more, like the way that they've talked about it. That seems to be the guy that they want to get the ball. And the other thing is just like Swift hasn't caught a ton of passes the last year and a half. And I expect the Cowboys to score at will. Don't forget, Chicago gave up 71 points in their last 5 quarters, which is just insane. And this Dallas offense, say what you want. I was saying all summer, they're basically discount Cincinnati. It's the same type situation. And now they are Cincinnati because with no Burrow, it's the offense like I want.
Yep. Okay. Right on. That's fair. Ike, what do you got here? Where are you going on a 2?
I do Warren and Stevenson. Trust him. Even though Stevenson still scares me, but yeah.
All right, jump over to Patrick's question here. We're going to go PPR flex. Igbokwe, who is on a pitch count, they said, or it was reported that he's most likely going to be on a pitch count, or Cortland Sutton. His other wide receiver is BTJ, so he's worried about his team's floor here at the wide receiver position. Ike, we'll kick it to you. What are your thoughts here on the Igbokwe or Sutton?
I'm going to be playing Sutton over Igbokwe just because I don't like the pitch count.
I mean, it might be as simple as that for me as well, to be honest with
especially
you.
What he said, right? Like he's worried about his floor. Take the guy that you know is going to get more targets if that's your real concern, right? Like, and that's going to be Sutton. So I agree. I have no problem playing Igbokwe. I think it's kind of, 50-50 in that situation because the Chargers defense is legit. But I just, I would rather have Sutton, who we know is going to get targets and not, potentially be on a pitch count.
Just Sean Payton, stop doing weird stuff. Keep Sutton out on the field.
Never
all the
will
time,
happen, man. That's why I didn't draft a lot of Denver players. It's just Payton's infuriating about these. Like the new Belichick, basically.
Yeah, smartest man in the room all the time, Keith.
This is more going to be like a general answer to it, but like with this wide receiver room, I don't think I'm ever worried about floor. I'm accepting the fact that there isn't much floor, and I'm just going to always chase what's the highest ceiling outcome on any week because, maybe if Brian Thomas could eventually, his catch rate can go up dramatically, he'll get a floor because he's got a floor for targets. But I feel like you just don't worry about the floor. Like I know and it sucks because it feels like the floor is so low, but with this, you're just always chasing the upside. I think on any given week. And with Ibuka's injury, Sutton seems like the highest upside guy and also the highest.
Yep, I'm with you there. Next one here from Jody. Good morning to you. Full point PPR 8-person league. Pick one for the flex. We got DJ Moore, David Montgomery, Omarion Hampton, Emeka Egbuka, and Tyler Warren. Man, this is the problem with 8-man league. It's so hard to figure out what guys to put in your lineups because your team is so good. So Kyle, we'll let you kick this one off. Where are you going here out of all these pretty solid options?
I'm not convinced I'd want to, as much as he's leading all tight ends in targets right now, I think I'd still go Tyler Warren over Juwan Johnson.
I think I would too.
So I do that first. You say if it's full PPR, full PPR. Because I want to say Montgomery, just for like the volume, the offense. Full PPR is maybe not the best format for him, but with Ibuka's injury, I think I would go Warren over Juwan Johnson and I'd go Tyler Warren and David Montgomery. Those would be my two picks.
Okay. Keith, where are you gonna go?
I'd go bully tight end. I was wrong last week about two big things. One was apologize for telling everybody to play Justin Fields every way. I will take the responsibility for that.
We all did that. We all did that on this show last Sunday. So it's not just you, Keith.
Yeah, but I was also everywhere screaming it from the mountaintop, so I apologize for that. The other one I was wrong about was I didn't believe in the Juwan Johnson volume from week 1, and he went out and received almost the exact same volume. Like, it's insane. Juwan Johnson is literally top 5 in every metric you want among tight ends, whether it be red zone targets, air yard share, target share, like just everything. And until that changes, like, he's the number 1 receiver in that offense. So I'm with you. Like, I would probably play Warren over Johnson, but I feel in a full PPR more, like, good about Johnson than I do any of those other guys.
That's fair, man. Who would have thought Spencer Rattler would be a kingmaker
Unleash him, right?
this year? Yeah, man, that's something not on the bingo card. Ike, where are you going here?
I think I'm going to go with what Keith said, 2 tight end, just because Warren is getting mad targets and Juwan seems to be second target there in New Orleans.
Yeah, totally fair. Here, Jody's got another question. Do you grab Dak? They have Baker and Herbert currently, so I'd assume you'd probably want to drop one of those guys for Dak. And the best possible matchup he's going to have all year against the Bears banged up secondary. Like, would you make one of those moves, or would you not want to put Baker or Herbert on the waiver wire?
I probably would. I would this week because Baker's down to one guy to throw to right now, and Herbert probably is. I like Herbert too, but I think this week I go Dak, especially with CD as your wide receiver 1 against that defense. You should be able to score some points.
You drop Baker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
agree.
think Herbert's too good to drop him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And frankly, I still have Herbert ranked ahead of Dak. Like, if everything was equal, I'd want to play Herbert. In spite of the fact that it's a good Denver defense, I'd still play him over Dak. The fact that you have Lamb and the fact that it's the Bears, like, that's the only reason that would push Dak to be higher. But I don't think, like, most weeks you're going to start Justin Herbert. I think there's very few weeks where you're really going to think, okay, the Cowboys offense. I mean, if they play the Giants again, that worked out well. You target those really bad defenses and play Dak, but for the most part, you probably want to play Herbert those weeks. And just to expand on Jody's question, I think I changed my last answer from Montgomery to Juwan Johnson. Keith made a really good point there. And just in an 8-team league, it's probably easier to play bully tight end and make it matter because there's so few teams.
Makes
so that
sense.
actually probably does make sense. Just go with the 2 tight ends here.
All right. Love it. What's going on, Drew? Need some advice here. DeAndre Swift, Garrett Wilson, or Drake London full point PPR. Keith, we'll let you lead it off here. Where are you going out of these 3 pretty solid options?
Like, I have London higher than Wilson, but I think I would play Wilson. And it's just the Falcons are going to run the ball. We saw it last week, and actually we saw it last year with Raheem Morris, that he is not afraid, if they can get up, to just run the ball. And I think you're going to see a lot of Bijan, a lot of Tyler Algier. He's the closer. He's never fumbled in his career. That's why they basically give him the ball so much once they have a 10-point plus lead. And Tyrod Taylor can sling it. Like, he really can. I think that there's a good chance that Garrett Wilson has a big game today, especially if Tampa can score points. I appreciate Joe Bond. It's a good point putting in the private chat that never fumble. Well, he will today. Yeah, that's going to be on me as well when that happens. So sorry for that, Falcons fans. But I would lean Wilson. I'm impressed at his receiver room, because if you're making, you know what I mean, like a decision where Garrett Wilson and Drake London are basically automatic starts, what a freaking wide receiver room you drafted.
Yeah, no doubt there. Ike, where are you going to go here?
I'm going to go Garrett Wilson.
Love it. Love it. Kyle?
In half PPR rankings, I have Wilson one spot ahead of London. I'm trying to think for full PPR, would that really push London ahead of him? I'm not sure. So we'll make the clean sweep. And just knowing that London was kind of dealing with the injury last week, let's give him one more week and then go back to him. But let's try Garrett Wilson with Tyrod too. Let's see what that's like with what we expect to be expanded passing.
Sounds good. Good morning, Jamie. Good to see you
Jamie?
here with us, my friend. And we got here from Johnny, 10-team PPR, 0-2, looking for a desperation play. I don't like panicking, guys, at 0-2. You're okay. You drafted your guys for a reason. Don't be making any panicky moves at 0-2. But let's go from there. Do I leave Breece Hall be his RB2 over Pollard? Does he drop Thomas Jr. from the flex to keep Pollard in? Ike, we'll let you take this away here. What are your thoughts on Johnny's roster moves?
I would keep in Thomas Jr. and I'd probably keep Breece Hall and Thomas Jr. in my lineup.
Okay.
Have Breece Hall over Pollard.
I'm definitely Breece Hall over Pollard. I'd leave that for sure. I don't hate going volume running backs in the flex, so I don't mind playing Pollard over Thomas Jr. Feels like Thomas Jr. has the higher upside. And so looking for like 0-2, kind of needing a desperation play, kind of screams to me, you're looking more for upside. So I think I agree. I'd stick with Breece Hall and Ryan Thomas Jr.
Yep. I'm with you guys there as well. Just offered a 2026 second for Juwan Johnson, 10-team Superflex. Have Laporta, Fannin, Pitts, Terrence Ferguson. Kyle, what do you think of that?
So my quick philosophy with tight ends is that they're more valuable when there's fewer teams, and quarterbacks get more valuable when there's more teams. There's more scarcity, but then like with tight ends, when you get to only 8-team leagues or even 10-team leagues here, there's so few teams that almost everyone's going to have good tight ends. So like in theory, it boosts up the value of Johnson compared to like a conventional 12-team league, but with fewer teams, it also boosts the floor for the pick. This 2026 second is going to be at the worst the 20th pick overall, whereas in a 12-team league, it could be the 24th pick.
That makes sense.
So both are kind of boosted. I'm fine with it, knowing that what you have at the rest of tight end. I love what Keith's saying about Juwan Johnson. I have him ranked pretty highly, but Laporta is one of the few that I would still go with on a week in, week out basis over Juwan Johnson. So having Laporta feels like, okay, Johnson might be extra. Like that 26 second, you might be able to use it somewhere else later in the season. So I'm fine making the trade knowing that you've got Laporta and you feel fine. I know Jamie loves Harold Fannin too, so he'd probably tell me, well, Fannon's ahead of Juwan Johnson.
Love it. Love it. Next one here, we got Zach Ertz or Christian Kirk, full point PPR. That's an interesting one. Ike, where are you going to go here?
I'm going to go Zach Ertz. I haven't seen Christian Kirk really do anything yet. Granted, he's been injured, so I'm going to rock out Ertz.
I'm interested to see what this Texans offense looks like with Kirk now in the slot. Maybe I talked about it with Matt in the betting segment. Maybe that gives CJ Stroud a little bit of a safety blanket, being able to find him in the quick intermediate stuff. He hasn't had that since the Tank Dell injury, so maybe Christian Kirk helps that. But Keith, where are you going to go here, Ertz or Kirk? Full point.
I am really high on Christian Kirk. Like, he is exactly what this Texans offense needs. Even last year, one of the best win rates versus both man and zone. He is somebody who can get open and get open quickly, which is what they desperately need with an offensive line that really struggles to pass protect. And with it being full PPR, like I've got a ton of player prop parlays where I have Kirk over 4.5 receptions. Like I do. I think he's going to get 5 to 6 receptions. And we know Kirk, if he still has the speed and stuff that he did previously, also has the ability to bust a big one. But I do think he's going to be a very important part of this offense. They got him to be in that like Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell role, and the rookies didn't pan out, right? Like they weren't able to handle that. I do trust Christian Kirk. He's always been able to get open. If you look at his win rate over the last 4 years, it's consistently one of the higher in the NFL among wide receivers.
Yeah, I love that. Kyle, where are you going to go here?
Just coming off the injury, we're always a little afraid. Now, because they held him out, does that mean he's come? If he had started week 1, he would have really not been in good shape. But now, because he's starting week 3, they've let him heal up to where he is healthy coming in. So I guess I'm really conflicted with that. In theory, I rarely ever, in just straight PPR with there's no tight end premium, I rarely want to flex a tight end over a receiver. I just feel like there's higher upside. So I think I'm leaning Kirk, but it's probably only because Jaden Daniels is out. If Daniels was in, I could see the upside of just a volume reception,
Good
especially
point.
with the Raiders defense being there. But with Mariota, I think I'm willing to take the shot on Christian Kirk and thinking. The one thing I think with Kirk is this actually great for Nico Collins? Does this open? That's where I wonder if 100% Kirk benefits this offense not necessarily by getting catches, but by creating more space. So I've seen other Christian Kirk questions, and I'm really like, ooh, like some really established guys. I really don't like the guy coming off the injury. But for a tight end with a backup quarterback right now, I think I'd be willing to play Christian Kirk. But also, shout out to J-Man, who constantly joined us at the Dynasty 6-pack in the live chat. So appreciate you.
Oh, love that. Revenge game narrative, too, boys. Going against the Jaguars for Christian Kirk. And we got one from Dion. Glad you're back, man.
They did pay him a lot more money than everyone expected him to. So
That's
I don't know how much revenge he wants against the Jags.
That's totally fair, man. From Dion, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Jameson Williams, Troy Franklin, the cover boy for our thumbnail today, Mr. Troy Franklin. Figured we were going to get some questions about him today after the big week last week. Kyle, are we buying into the Troy Franklin stuff, or are you still going to go ahead with the 2 guys ahead of him here?
Also, shout out to Dion, another person who constantly is in the Dynasty 6-pack chat, so appreciate that. Just because Keenan Allen's getting more targets than Quentin Johnston, I think most weeks I'd prefer Keenan Allen, especially because with this, Keith, I can't remember if this was you talking about this last night, or maybe it was one of those streams this morning. I watched so much that it all kind of flows together, but with Patrick Surtain likely to be shadowing like the outside receivers, that's more Quentin Johnston. Keenan Allen probably doesn't get that treatment. So I'd certainly prefer Keenan of the 2 Chargers receivers. I don't really want to play both against Denver, so I'd go Keenan Allen for sure, and I'd go Jameson Williams. He showed the upside last week. It was a little panicked after week 1. Now he won't get to play the Bears every week either, which you called back. You I think last week you were all in on Jameson last week. So great call by you, because your exact argument, he always torches the Bears. Well, he did it again. So
man defenses too. Like if it's a man defense, J-Mo's probably going to feast. Both him and St. Brown actually are very good versus man.
And as much as we're worried about like the Chargers offense against the Broncos defense, the Chargers defense seems to be really good. So I'm hesitant to play Franklin this week. So I would go Keenan Allen, James.
Okay, Keith, where are you going?
I agree. I mean, I will say I really do like Franklin. He is somebody that if he's available in your leagues and you need wide receiver or somebody to be a flex, he appears to be taking over at least the highest target rate in that passing offense. And remember, these guys played, college ball together as well. So there's that connection going back to Oregon. But overall, like, I think I'd have to play Allen and Jameson. Just be prepared that Quentin Johnston will once again score 2 touchdowns. And, I doubted him. You doubted everybody. Just like sit him and he just keeps feasting. But I do think that Surtain's going to be on him. And just like, look what Calvin Ridley did week 1, where he ran 34 snaps, 29 Surtain was on him. He didn't have a target or a catch. And then the 5 that he did not have Surtain on him, they targeted him 4 times. So, like, that is the Patrick Surtain effect right there.
Right on, Ike. We're going to go.
I'm going to go J-Mo and Keenan Allen.
All right, love it, man. BD here. We got start one. Bashal, I can't say it totally, but Bashal Tootin or Trey
Bashal.
Benson, man, that one got me good. Wow,
Sounded like me, Dylan. I'm rubbing off on you.
no doubt. Ike, where are you gonna go here? Ouch.
Tootin looked good last week, so he's the second guy there. He's gonna get some work and probably in the passing game, so I'm gonna go Tootin.
Don't blame me, Keith.
Don't forget the last week against the same defense, the Bucks to move the ball just started peppering targets at their running backs. I believe they got like 7 or 8 of them. I think you could see a very similar plan today from Jacksonville, where, because again, that is a really good pass rush in Houston, like elite. And I think that means that you could see a lot of, quick passes to Tootin and ETN. So I would definitely go, Tootin. He's also got a chance just to, I think, keep eating into ETN's, backfield share now that they've gotten rid of Tank.
Yep. Kyle, clean sweep here with Tootin.
Well, it's funny because when I first saw the question, I thought, yeah, Tootin, it seems like he's getting more work. I went to look at my rankings and I have Benson ranked higher. So I had to make a change and drop Benson in these spots. But I do really think that Tootin is the right answer.
All right, rootin' tootin' here. Next one from Dion. We got Egbuka, McLaurin. Need one out of those two. Kyle, go ahead.
That's easy.
Well, I think the quarterback question's easier. I think I'm easily going Daniel Jones. I've got him as QB3. Really, outside of Lamar and Josh Allen, I don't think there's anyone you should be starting.
All right, all in, baby. Let's go.
Even last week, I think Goff outscored him, but it took the team scoring 52 points and Goff threw 5 touchdowns. That's not going to happen every week.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, he's too good to bench right now. So definitely go Daniel Jones. Even with the snap count, I'm leaning Egbuka just because back to Marcus Mariota running the offense. Yeah. I don't love Terry, and he's already. I guess if the worry last few weeks is that Terry hasn't had time in training camp with Jaden Daniels, I guess it doesn't matter because no one's had time with Mariota. So maybe this is the breakout game for him. But I just lean more on Debo right now. It seems like the team is as well. So I don't know. We don't know what a snap count means for Egbuka. He could still be pretty productive. So I think I would take the risk at this point.
Okay, sounds good. Ike, where are you to go here? Egbuka, McLaurin, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff.
I'm going McLaurin because I don't trust Egbuka's snap count still, and going Goff or Daniel Jones.
Okay, a little bit.
Daniel Jones, I have a feeling will come back to earth to what he usually is, and I think Goff is still top notch. I'm
kind of leaning toward your Daniel Jones take. If I'm being, I took the Titans money line today at plus 164, so I'm hoping Daniel Jones comes back down to earth. But Keith, break the tie here. So where are you gonna go here? Egbuka or McLaurin, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff?
Definitely going Daniel Jones. Shane Steichen is a genius, man. You look at looking back, like Gardner Minshew, he won games. Joe Flacco, he won games. He even won games with Anthony Richardson, and Daniel Jones, can do what Shane Steichen needs. And he's completing 78% of his short passes. If he continues to do that, this Indy offense is going to be elite with the way Jonathan Taylor's running the ball. McLaurin, man, I want to play him because he's going to come back. McLaurin's just been good his entire career and with Egbuka on the snap count, but I just can't. I had to go back and look. Deep ball completion percentage for Marcus Mariota when he started with the Falcons, 23.5%. It was 33rd. Just for the record, there's 32 quarterbacks that start for NFL teams. And he was 31st in true completion percentage, 30th in deep ball catchable pass rate. I can't do it. I'd have to go with Egbuka. At least Baker's healthy. And they need him. The Tampa has had issues moving the ball. So I lean Egbuka, but I don't love either one of them.
All right, good stuff there. Micah, Egbuka or Sutton? Had the same answer earlier, Micah. We went with the Cortland Sutton side there. From Alex, morning. Do we like Stroud, Lawrence, or Michael Penix today? Ike, kick it to you here. Stroud gets the Texans, Lawrence. Or Stroud gets the Jags, Lawrence gets the Texans, Atlanta.
The quick, easy answer is we don't like any of them.
That's right. Yeah.
But we got to pick one.
I guess
Who does
Stroud.
Atlanta get today?
I guess I'm going to roll Stroud.
Carolina.
Carolina. Ooh.
they're going to run a lot against Carolina, so Penix probably is going to have to do a whole bunch. So I'm going to go Stroud.
Okay. Keith?
Yeah, I agree. Penix is only going to be fantasy relevant in games the Falcons are down or the competitive. So if you think Atlanta's going to win, which God they better, then I think again you can see a very heavy dose of not just Bijan Robinson, but Tyler Algier. Algier had 15 carries last week. Like he's already had 25 carries this season, so that is not a one-off. Like they're going to give him the ball as well when they can run it, and the defense is playing really good. And I think Lawrence probably has the highest ceiling of these three guys, but I think this Texans defense is really legit. If you look like what they did to the Rams week 1, where the Rams I think scored 14 points last week, again they really held down a very good offense in Tampa to where it was like 2019. So I think Stroud has his breakout game. The Jags don't have a great pass rush, and I really do think Christian Kirk is going to unlock this offense because we've seen it before. They need that other receiver to complement Nico so he can get a little bit more one-on-one coverage and shade the defense. I think that happens this week. Stroud's going to have a big game.
Love it. Kyle, you going to go clean sweep here with CJ Stroud?
It's funny because when I was just looking at my rankings, he was the lowest. But then I also was thinking, man, when I ranked this, I really didn't take into account what you were just saying, Keith, the Christian Kirk effect on this offense in general. And Stroud's been a disappointment so far, but this is probably a week where he at least breaks into the top 20 because of Christian Kirk. So yeah, we'll clean sweep it and go Stroud.
Love it, love it. BD back again. PPR, need a wide receiver and a flex. Emeka Egbuka, Cortland Sutton, Marion Hampton, Troy Franklin. Kyle, we'll let you take it away here first.
I mean, Cortland Sutton easily is the wide receiver. We've mentioned that question enough. Probably don't want to play both Broncos receivers against the Chargers. You pick one or the other. I'd pick Sutton. And then from there, snap count be damned. I think I'm still going Egbuka just because Hampton's been a big disappointment this year so far. We're still just waiting. I don't think the Broncos is the great defense for him to easily break out against.
Yep, yeah, and you could tell Harbaugh and them they trust Najee Harris right now, so it's definitely been a slow burn for Marion Hampton. Hopefully, it gets straightened out a little bit further down the line, but yeah, I'm worried at the moment. Keith, what do you got here?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I might just go with both Bronco wide receivers. I think the Chargers defense again is legit, but it's easier to throw on them than it is to run early this season. And at least that way, you're going to get some. Because I don't love any of these guys' matchups. Like they're all in difficult matchups. But I think by taking both of them, it just guarantees you're going to get some points, right? Like I think that definitely one of either Franklin or Sutton could have a good game, and it's not heard of that Denver just could end up throwing on the Chargers. We haven't really seen that yet, but it's definitely possible because Kansas City's offense, I mean, let's be honest, not that great. And Indy did move, the ball, or excuse me, who did the Chargers play last week? They played, I'm getting it confused now.
Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders.
And I mean, even the Raiders, you see Myers caught passes, Bowers, like they weren't effective, but in PPR, at least you're getting points to where Egbuka again on snap count. And who knows what Hampton's, usage is this week, even though it is a good matchup. Like that's how you attack Denver's defense is by running it. I just don't know if I can trust a guy that's like averaging like 2.3 yards per carry.
I don't blame you, man. Ike, where you going?
I'll do Sutton and Franklin.
All right. Love it. Broncos.
So all of us were all in favor of benching Amari and Hampton. I mean, we're
It's
only
crazy.
3 years, but evidence before us. Right? The Chargers are also throwing so much. So not only is his efficiency low, but the volume just isn't there because they're just not running very much. Which not
Joe
actually, the Chargers.
Me and Joe Bond talked about this. They are like dropping back a ton. If you actually look, they're not throwing too much more than they did last year. It's just you can tell that part of the plan is Herbert drop back and then run. Like because he has so many rush attempts. And I think a lot of those are quote unquote designed. I really do believe run plays where he drops back and then goes, because I said the same thing to Joe Bond and he was like, no. And I'm like, yes, they are. And then Joe Bond looked it up and their percentages are very similar to what they were last year with pass run. He's a pretty smart dude.
Yep.
Drop
From Mike
backs are
here,
much higher. Yeah.
no doubt. Mike, from Mike here, we got Calvin Ridley taking on the Titans, or we got Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones placed on IR taking on a not so good Cincinnati Bengals defense. So, Ike, where are you going to go here? Jordan Mason, Calvin Ridley?
I'm going to go Jordan Mason. He's going to have the whole backfield to himself pretty much, so rock him out there.
Keith?
Yeah, he's the kind of back that I think needs a lot of carries to really be, who he is. We saw that in San Francisco, that like the minute he was getting 15, 20 carries a game, it was like 100 yards and a touchdown almost every game. And you got to love what Kevin O'Connell said, that he has all the, makings of a bell cow back is what he said this week. So I like Mason, but I do think you're going to see Tennessee's passing game improve each week. So better things are ahead for, Ridley and also for Io Manor. How do you say his last name? Io Manor?
I think you're on it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That away. Much better
Canadian,
than my
Canadian names that I've never heard of before.
Kyle, where are you going to go? Calvin Ridley, Jordan Mason?
I think this is the easiest question we've answered. It's volume running back like Jordan Mason you have to play, especially with Ridley struggling. Like he's still he's the 1 or 2 target on the team, but that pass offense has been too much of a struggle. Easily play Jordan Mason.
Did you see Joe just said that Juwan Jennings is out?
Wow.
Okay. Juwan. I almost thought you said Juwan Johnson for a second. Yeah. And that made me panic more than Juwan Jennings, which is crazy. That's how far we've come with it.
I did really like Juwan Jennings this week, though. It's kind of a bummer.
Sorry, Mike, you said Brock Purdy was out too. Yeah, I think they had kind of hinted that yesterday. So not overly surprising.
Tucker Kraft is active.
Yeah, we got a good one. Tucker Kraft is active.
Tucker Kraft mac and cheese. Come on, let's say it correctly.
Sorry. Xavier Legette inactive for the Panthers.
He was active the
Mac
first couple of
Jones
weeks?
never starts for the Packers to where it's mac and cheese Kraft. Like I really don't want that scenario to play out ever.
Tyler Warren expected to be a full go. JSN expected to play in week 3 with the illness. I think that's it. What we got, Quinshon Judkins, that was announced earlier this morning that he's going to start at running back for the Browns.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Cam Scadaboo will get more snaps in week 3. That was also reported from Garofalo. Love to hear that. And then Vikings are still without Christian Darrisaw. Oh, I'm sorry. He is active. Will make his season debut in week 3. So that's big. That's a big help for the Vikings there. So what do we got here for PPR pick 1? Hollywood against the Giants with Worthy out. Cooper Kupp against the Saints. We just said JSN will play. Also have Hampton and Diggs, but doesn't know about those 2. Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, I think I'd still play Hollywood, just knowing that he's a vital target there. Pick 1, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'll take Marquise Brown.
Okay, Keith.
I would I agree, either Marquise Brown or I do like Stephon Diggs. I don't think enough is being made. This Steelers defense is really bad. And Drake May has been amazing. He's the only quarterback with 68 plus pass attempts with over 70% completion percentage. Only him and Josh Allen, I know, heading in to the Thursday night game had made 1 or less turnover worthy throws. And I think this is the worst defense he's played. Miami actually can get pressure. Pittsburgh has not been getting pressure. Sure. And I think that could mean that May has a big day. So Diggs is, somebody I would consider, but I would probably lean Brown as well.
The Steelers defense thing has thrown me for a loop, man.
They have some injuries, which, Highsmith's out. I think Porter's missing again, but it's just really bad. They're bad versus run, they're bad versus pass, they're not getting pressure.
Where's TJ Watt been, man? Where's he? I haven't seen his name flash on Red Zone. Nothing, man. It's been disappointing. I'm actually hoping for a bounce back. I took the Steelers money line today, so hopefully they defense can figure it out a little bit from that end. Ike, we're gonna go here.
Hollywood.
Okay. Next one, we got Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers. Whose matchup do we like the best, guys? Where are we going to go? Ike, take it away. You here.
Thank goodness. Don't go to me first.
I'm going to go Kyler Murray because he's still got he's going to run a little bit more than Stafford will. So, yeah, I'll go Kyler.
He's had good games against the 49ers as well. I think one of his best fantasy games last year was against San Francisco. So he knows how to play this defense well. It's a good defense, but yeah, I'll go Kyler at the rushing floor more than upside. But yeah.
All right, Keith, clean sweep here with Kyler.
Yeah, although I do think Stafford's going to have some success. I think the Rams are actually going to win that game. We saw him last year have success against that defense, but I would rather have the floor of, Kyler Murray because he's going to get probably at least 3 points every week rushing.
And not to extend this further, but the fact that there's 4 quarterbacks is weird to me. Could this possibly be super flex and like needing to pick 2 of these because it's not specified? So I think we're all on favor that Murray's the automatic starter. Between the other 2, I would say I definitely don't want to play Russell Wilson. I think I have Rodgers ranked just ahead of Stafford, but I think it'd be either of those 2. It's definitely not Wilson against the Chiefs defense. He was great against the Cowboys, but I think against Kansas City and Spagnola, you definitely don't play Wilson. And if he's always just one horrible game away from getting benched, right? Like,
Well, I mean, they put Jackson Darda in for several plays while he's throwing for 450 yards. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
They're probably going to be 0-3. At what point do they just in the middle of a game decide, okay, dart's going and it's the time? Right? It's like that's going to make it so that I'm going to be always ranking Wilson so low. Like he's almost like droppable to me. If this is 1 QB, there's no reason you should roster.
Sure. Yep.
If it's 2 QB superflex, okay, sure, but I'm still going to do whatever I can to not start him on any given.
Sure. For Mr. Magic here, we got Jalen Warren or Keenan Allen. We will Keith take it away here. Yeah.
I'm going to go Jalen Warren. The Pittsburgh has been saying finally they're going to give him the ball. Caleb Johnson, I believe, is not even going to be active today. And again, New England has one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. They lead the NFL in sacks. Aaron Rodgers will not take hits anymore. That is part of the issues with why he's not the same quarterback that he was. And that means that he's going to be dumping it off. Like I expect a lot of Warren, Janu Smith, even Freiermuth, catching passes. He's not going to have very much time to throw it down the field.
Yeah, it's Jalen Warren all day for me here. Ike, you as well. Kyle's nodding in agreement. Love it.
Similar to the Mason Ridley argument. And maybe less so because Jordan Mason more than Warren, and I like Keenan Allen more than Calvin Ridley, but it's still not enough. Like you got a workhorse volume back.
Yep. Next one here, we got DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, George Pickens, AJ Brown. Got to start 2 here. Kyle, we'll let you take it away.
I'll get fooled again. I'll play AJ Brown. Let's just keep going until. I mean, the Rams might be one of those teams that really pushes the Eagles and forces them.
No doubt. Yep.
So I did just trade away AJ Brown in one league this past week, but in the Dynasty League. But I mean, I'm still rostering him in other spots, and all the leagues I do have him in, I'll still start him. Glad to at least get rid of 1 share, and then that way, okay, that's one less headache to worry about. But you got him. I think you have to start him. For the second. Leaning Pickens because JMO showed us the path against the Bears, right? Like the deep threat receivers do really well against Chicago. So Denver's defense scares me just enough. I don't need to play the Chargers players. I won't. I'll go Brown and Pickens.
Those were the 2 that I would go as well. Like same with you.
Yep.
Keith?
Yeah, clean sweep.
Yeah, I'm with you guys there. I think if George Pickens is in this game, stays in this game, doesn't get ejected for wanting to punch Tyreek Stevenson in the face or something, with those 2 going at it, I think he's going to have a big day today. Next one here for BD. Would you trade Zach Charbonnet and Jahmyr Gibbs for Kyron Williams and Rashee Rice? I'm going to say
absolutely not.
I want no business in trading Jahmyr Gibbs.
Not with the way Kansas City's offense looks too. Oh, go ahead.
No,
you're good.
There's no way.
The only argument is that like one of these things doesn't belong with the other. Sharp, he's a 50-50 split back at best. Like he's very clearly the worst asset in this trade. By the end of the year, having 2 starters in Kyron Williams and Rashee Rice might be useful. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to make this trade right now while I'm holding Rashee Rice on the bench for nothing. Because right now it feels like you're just giving up Gibbs for Kyron. So if this manager still wants to make this trade, the week Rashee Rice is coming back, I'll do it, knowing that I'm giving him Jahmyr Gibbs. He was my 101 in half PPR ranking.
And I don't blame him.
Head of Chase, head of Barkley, head of Bijan. So I've got Gibbs at such a high standard that I'd be willing to do this trade later in the season. I'm not willing to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kyle. Good point. T. Higgins or DJ Moore PPR? Ike, take it away.
I'm gonna go T. Higgins. Jake Browning's still gonna toss the ball around just like Joe Burrow did. Won't look as good, but still gonna get his targets. So,
I mean, I'll go with the better quarterback in Jake Browning over Caleb Williams.
I'm
so sorry.
Don't do
that's
that to
clearly
me. It's also
I also really love Justin Fields, so I'm always going to hate Caleb Williams because I'm always just going to despise the Bears for just doing Justin Fields. Like, that's just
Fair.
I'm always going to just be anti Caleb Williams no matter what. But right now, DJ Moore hasn't done anything. Like he's
Agreed.
clearly not the top option. I think I'll trust T with Jake Brown.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm
really sorry. I appreciate you hosting. I like hosting with you.
Thanks, man. No, never. Keith, where are you going?
Yeah, clean sweep. I think since he's going to be even more throw happy, believe it or not, with Browning, because we'll find out this week, but they have had just a really difficult time getting the run game going because of the offensive line play. And Browning is somebody get rid of the ball quickly. So I'll go Higgins as well.
All right. Next one, Keith, we'll let you take it away. Start at wide receiver, Mooney or Matthew Golden, and then a tight end start here, Brenton Strange or Jake Tonjes.
I'm going to go Darnell Mooney. Golden, even if you want to look at it like glass half full, he would have like a big play each game, but not a lot of targets. Mooney has historically, like if the Falcons throw it 25 times, he's going to get at least 5, targets.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go him. And then again, like I said it, I think the tight ends and backs are going to get peppered with targets in that Jacksonville-Houston game because Houston's pass rush is, I think, the best in the NFL. Maybe the Rams, could argue something about that, but Brenton Strange, even again with Juwan Johnson out, it's closer. But we saw last week they threw the touchdown pass to Luke Farrell, to where Brenton Strange is on the field all the time. So I'm going to go Strange and Mooney.
Yep.
I like that. And just to add to the Mooney point, JC Horn's going to be all over Drake London this week. So that just opens
good point.
Darnell Mooney even more. Kyle, let's say you, man. What do you got here?
So Strange and Tonj is actually really close to my rankings, but I do have Strange just a little bit higher. Like he said, he's the consistent starter no matter what, and he's just gonna right now has earned more targets than Tonjes. I think it's by 1. I think it's 9 to 8 through the season, so it's not much of a disparity, but it's one more. That's all I need to know to go with Strange. It's one more target than Tonjes has earned this season. At this point, like that's really what we're chasing as targets. So we don't know what the game plan is without Jaden Reed. They seem to. Like last week, they kind of had to haphazardly throw things together. Now that there's a week to plan, is Matthew Golden the slot receiver to replace Jaden? And that role has been so featured. Mooney's been a disappointment this year. And I think Keith, you said it, if they throw.
Well, I mean, disappointment. It was his first game last week, so.
But I think, coming off an injury, right? So and that's the hesitation with Christian Kirk. But like both of them have been disappointing. Let's be frank. Like we expected better. From the 3 games that they played combined, we expected a lot more from Mooney and Golden. With them playing the Panthers and expecting to run so much, I'm not sure that the volume's there that I want to play Mooney. I think I'm intrigued on, does Matthew Golden play the slot role today and how featured that's been in the LaFleur offense. I'm intrigued enough that I would take Golden. You could clearly see anyone in the video that the bias is there real for the Packers, but I want to know what a game plan without Jaden Reed looks like. How does that affect me?
It's going to be Romeo Dobbs and Tucker Kraft.
The bias aside, I get the point.
Maybe they don't play a slot receiver. Maybe it's 12 personnel to the max today, and Kraft and Musgrave are on the field constantly, and there is no third receiver. That's totally a risk. But LaFleur offense doesn't like to operate that way. Like they like using 12 personnel to a certain extent, but they love that 11%. So I have a feeling about Golden. This might be the breakout today.
Kyle, that was a fair point for sure. Fair point. From Courtney, what's going on? Wandale Robinson, Ricky Pearsall, like Buka. For me, this is easy Pearsall, right, guys? With
now the Jennings news, he's going to get huge volume. I'm with you.
I like Wandale Robinson. I don't think it's that easy. I mean, it was a monster week last week, but he's always earned targets. And he's probably not. The ceiling performances aren't going to match there.
Yes.
Now, but Juwan Jennings means I think there's a good floor for Pearsall. So I would go Pearsall as well, but I don't think it's slam dunk easy. I think I'm seeing a lot of like questions about Wandale. Not so much this one, but just on Twitter and other Discords, and like there seems to be disrespect because he's being compared to other guys that are way lower. Like a guy like Pearsall, I can get that, but like we got to take Wandale for serious. Like he's clearly.
I take him seriously. It's the matchup. This is a Kansas City team with still a very good defense that they have to win this game. I just expect Kansas City to thump the Giants. And that could end up, Wandale getting a bunch of garbage time. Totally reasonable. But I just, I'm leery of this Giants offense this week. I think Kansas City Sunday night game. They've got to win it. Like, I just think they're going to come with a little bit of edge.
Yeah, and I think again, Juwan Johnson's being out. I mean, I think the floor for Pearsall is much higher this week than it would have been normally. Though Jennings in, I might switch it to Wandale, but I think. It's
no, if Jennings was playing, it would be. I would have said Wandale, but without him, I mean, Pearsall's probably gonna get 10 targets at least.
Because to quote Courtney Harden's show, Ricky Pearsall's the real deal. I think we think that. So
Love it. And then, guys, are we to the point here where we're going to go Juwan Johnson over Travis Kelce? Kyle, Keith are nodding. Ike, what do you got? Nodding as well. All right. Juwan Johnson over Travis Kelce. Love it. Another one for BD. 14-teamer here in the flex. Wicks, Booty, Algier. Keith alluded to earlier. Algier, 15 carries. Wicks going to be more involved this week because of the Jaden Reed issues. Keyshawn Booty, we talked about him last week.
Thank God he caught that touchdown. Apologizing about that as well.
Very bad. Could have been very bad. Has Bijan in the RB slot? Is it viable to go both Atlanta RBs some weeks? If it is, this week is the
one week to do it, I guess.
Carolina. Like, where are you gonna go here? With just
I'm gonna do Algier. I'm gonna roll out both of the Atlanta running backs because pretty sure Keith said last week that Carolina's rush defense is just brutal. So I'll rock out both of those.
But 6 of the last 7 games, 200 plus rushing yards. It's not like Arizona's look like this, juggernaut rush attack to start the season.
Right. Keith, where are you gonna go here out of these 3 then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Algier. Like, I really do think there's a good chance that both backs get 15-plus carries. And, I mean, again, he scored last week. He's, what is it already at? His, where is his carries? I was trying to look that up. But anyway, I know that he's had, there it is. He's had 10 week 1, 16 week 2. And you got both kind of games, right? You had a game that was competitive. He got 10 carries. You got a game where they were up and he got 16. So I think that he's going to get at least 8 to 10 carries. And against that defense, he could score a touchdown. It's just like, I think it's a pretty safe floor. And there's a chance that both of them, right, like end up having, double-digit games.
Oh, totally fair. Kyle, where are you to go here?
I think I'm going with Booty. Because maybe Keith has hammered this in, just watching the DFS show last couple of days. It's taken me to get through it, but also him saying it enough. This Steelers defense isn't good, so I'll take the stealing shot. And I like Wick's potential this week, but also
he's got to catch the ball, right?
You know what? He caught all his targets last week. I was actually quite impressed.
I was such a big Witz guy last year. I want him to play well because I love him as a receiver, but he just seems like he never catches it when it matters, right? And that's a problem, obviously.
And it looked like early in that game it was going to be, oh man, this is another one of those 13 target games with like 6 catches.
Right.
But he only ended up getting 4 targets. I think he caught them all. But it's still, I do wonder, like, is this a Josh Jacobs game to a certain extent? I know that, like, Keith, again, or another show Keith did with Casey, that the Browns run defense stat does make me a little worried. But
Browns run defense for real.
But
y'all are going to run it. I mean, that's what y'all do. Like, Jacobs is still going to get his
carries. I'm just a little hesitant on what Wick's true role is going to be with Reed. So, yeah, I'll go Booty against the Steelers.
All right, then we'll run through this trade real quick. Gaborda, what are your thoughts in this trade? Traded CMC, Egbuka, Tillman, and Juwan Johnson for Chase Brown, JSN, Tataroa McMillan, and Isaiah Likely. 12T PPR, 2 running back, 3 receiver, 1 flex. Have Nico and BTJ as well.
I split right down the middle. I'd rather have CMC than Chase. I'd rather have Juwan Johnson than Likely. But then on the other side, I'd rather have the JSN McMillan combo over Egbuka and Tillman. So it feels like it's balanced and fair. Then I go to what's the best asset. I'd rather have CMC than Jamar Chase. If Joe Burrow was in, that's a different story, but that's not the reality we live in now. So on that principle, I don't like it because I would rather have the side you gave away.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Anybody else?
I also don't know who their starting tight end is, right? Like, and if they're trading for Likely, you have to imagine they have another tight end because he's not playing. But
don't be surprised though if Likely ends up being a real breakout guy because Andrews is washed.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Zay Flowers and the volume he's getting, I think the Ravens need another target to be, the offense that they're capable of. And Likely was that guy in a lot of games last year It wouldn't surprise me at all if he ends up like maybe being the second, target in that passing game.
Okay. Ike, what do you got here between Ramondre Stevenson and Alec Iomanner?
I'm gonna go Ramondre. He seems to be getting the touches, and I still can't trust Manor, or however you say his last name.
That's totally fair.
I
man.
like him a lot this week, but again, I just think Pittsburgh's defense is really bad. They can't stop the run. They've been giving up a bunch of receptions to running backs. Like, those are all good things for Ramondre, but Iomanner is somebody that, like, if he's available as well and you need a wide receiver, I'd pick him up because his volume has literally been identical to Calvin Ridley. And I keep saying it. They started with maybe the two best defenses in the league in Denver and the Rams. There's better days ahead for that passing offense. It's actually very encouraging that he's put up the numbers he has the first 2 weeks, playing really good defenses.
Agreed. Iomanner should not be on your waiver wire any longer if he is. So if he's available and you guys have somebody who you can drop, I would go ahead and pick up Iomanner for sure. Kyle, where are you going to go here?
We'll make it a clean sweep and say Ramondre. And it's not that I don't trust Iomanner or even Ridley, like the previous question. Right now, just hard to trust Cam Ward. He's still a rookie. It's still... Yep. He's the only rookie right now, too, so he doesn't have other rookies to kind of compare to and kind of, he's looking better than this guy. He's out there on an island, and so far, it hasn't been great.
Sure. Brandon, good to see you, my friend. Tyrone Tracy, Judkins, Chubb, and Hunter start 1 RB, 1 flex. Leaning Chubb and Judkins, but can't help but question myself. I get it, man. I get it. I think we could pretty much slide Tyro Tracy off to the side, and he's more of a handcuff now, right, guys? Not somebody
bad defense too, bad matchup with the Chiefs. So I think that's not a good situation for him.
Yeah, I think he's right on. I would go Judkins and Chubb. Chubb's still getting the red zone carries right now. Mm-hmm. That's huge because I actually think Houston's going to move the ball today.
I like it.
And we can't trust Hunter right now. So
that's the thing. Packers bias tells me to trust Travis Hunter because I don't really trust Judkins or this Browns offense today against the Packers. I'm there's leagues where I'm starting Browns players, but if I can avoid it, I'm benching them because this Packers defense looks like an ultimate shutdown. And again, maybe that's bias on my part, but I would go Nick Chubb for sure, and I'll trust it again with Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the talent, but
it's the snaps, wasn't it 60% on defense, 60% on offense last week for Hunter?
It really changed from week 1. He played a lot more defense, and it stinks that I don't think they're going to tell us every week, obviously what they're playing.
Yeah.
Well, and from what it sounds like, that wasn't the plan going into the week because didn't 2 of their corners get hurt, so they kind of had to shift to it. So that's the other thing. They might not even be planning to do things like that, and it happens. But the fact that they didn't ignore, he didn't. Oh, he's on defense now full time. They kept playing him out there on offense, even if it wasn't the full complement of snaps. That's the at least encouraging spot. I think, I don't think there's ever going to be a week where he doesn't run routes because even with 60% defensive snaps, he got 6 targets last week. So I don't think there's a risk of him ever being completely shut out and you get a 0. I mean, you might get a 0 if he just doesn't catch passes. That's risk of any receiver if they just don't catch the targets. But I don't feel like he's ever going to not be involved.
Then we got PPR here from BD. Hampton, Connor, Krosky, Meredith. Pretty easy for me. Is James Conner, everybody?
Yep.
The only thing, it's just a tough matchup against the 49ers, but his volume right now, I would go James Conner.
Okay. Good question here from Cody. You need 1 wide receiver. Cortland Sutton, Ricky Pearsall with Jawan Jennings news being out, or Quentin Johnston, who's been very good for the Chargers to start off the year. Ike, we'll let you take this one. You're going to go Pearsall, both you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Kyle?
Kind of thinking Sutton, but maybe with Jennings out, Pearsall actually is a smart play.
Cardinals could be down 2 corners, too. They've given up 17 receptions to the wide receivers of the Panthers and the Saints the first 2 games of the season. Yeah. Ricky Purcell is going to feast today, man, with Juwan out.
Okay. I've got my rankings a little different. I'm going to have to adjust that because I think you guys are right. I think Pearsall does make sense.
Okay, full point PPR. Leanin Debo and McConkey both over Genty in the flex. Is it weird to bench Genty already?
Debo's a must play this week. Mariota, again, not a very good thrower of the ball, but where he does is underneath stuff. Debo's lining up in the slot 70% of the times. That's where he's most effective. Maybe he gets some extra rush attempts. And then with Ladd, I mean, you got to like it because, I don't think he's going to be on Surtain Allen either too much. That's going to be Quentin Johnston. I don't think it's weird because, I mean, it's tough. I get it because you played him so early, but with it being full PPR and it's not like Genty's seeing a ton of volume in the passing game, I'm okay doing it. Like, I don't think it's weird, and you just kind of hopefully wait for Genty to get things going because it's been really rough. I've been surprised, like really surprised how ineffective he's been.
And you got Chip Kelly coming out in the media too, saying that it's just he compared it to load management in the NBA, that they don't want to just use and abuse Ashton Genty, which us fantasy managers don't really care to hear that, Chip.
No, we do not.
So it's like,
but is that also realization that their offense really isn't that good? Like he's just gonna get like, every time he's getting hit in the backfield every time. Yes. Like we can't continuously get him into that punishment. The best way is to target him more in the passing game, but it's Chip Kelly. So. Man, I don't know that I could bring myself to do it. I'd probably bench McConkey, but and go with I'd sell myself that it's the cross game stack. Okay, this Raiders Commanders game might be more high scoring than we expect. I think Mariota can lead the offense well enough that I'll go with the cross game stack of Debo and Genty, but I can't fault you for just saying let's go with both receivers either.
Sure. Ike, anything to add?
I'm fine with Debo and McConkey.
Okay. And we got one from Cody here. Pollard or Roma Dunze. Maybe it's my Bears bias, guys, but I'm locking Roma.
Oh, yeah.
Dunze is my favorite receiver in DK this week. He's 5,100. Smash play.
Talk about volume running backs to receivers and usually favoring the running backs, but I think with the Dunze, I think a Dunze is a wide receiver one. Like top 10 upside. Cowboys defense isn't that great, so do expect him to do really well. So clean sweep. It's not just your Bears bias still, no worry. Is all right.
And then just an interesting fact from BD. I didn't know this. Tyler Algier also started it in college as a linebacker.
He's a tank,
makes sense. Big dude,
His senior season, he went to
Braylon Allen was a linebacker too at one point.
Senior season, Kyle, huh?
Or not senior, but I forget how it goes. But I think it was his last season he made the full-time switch. So he really only had 1 year of being a running back in college, if I remember correctly.
Sweet. All right, then from Jonathan, we got T. Higgins or Jameson Williams. Pick one PPR. He's a little worried with the Jake Browning, I'm assuming here. I think it'd be Higgins, but
Keith was a little worried about the Ravens defense. Like I know they've allowed a lot of points to the Bills, but at the same time, like they've got a good secondary. Like I don't know that this is the best smash Jameson Williams spot. So
I'm with you.
I don't know the man rate off the top of my head. I would check to see how much man defense Baltimore plays. Anytime a team plays like 35-40% man, I feel really good playing Jameson Williams. If it's underneath that, I would go Higgins.
Knowing their players, they probably play man, but because they seem like they feel like they've got the talent and the confidence.
No doubt, yeah.
We'll play our guys in man, but they also probably are smart enough to switch it up consistently. Like they're playing a bit of a mix of both.
Eddie, good to see you, my friend. We got Dak going to Dak or Goff here?
Dak.
I think he's just asking, like, is he going to do what Goff did?
Is Dak going to do what Goff did to the Bears?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I have both of them. Yeah. If it is a question between both, I have both as top 10 options. So as much as like you're just saying worried about the Ravens defense, you do expect the passing volume to be up because the Ravens offense is so good. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. But just because they're playing the Bears, I would lead Dak as well. If it is a question.
And then from Jacob, pick two full point PPR. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, J.K. Dobbins, Stephon Diggs, Chris Olave. Kyle, take it away.
I want Garrett Wilson. We talked earlier. We were taking him over Drake London. So I think, Garrett Wilson. I think I have DK ahead of Olave. But then Dobbins against the Chargers. Do we like that revenge game? This is tough. My instincts say Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf.
That's where mine
know if Christian Gonzalez is playing for the Patriots.
I have not heard. I could look it up.
Christian Gonzalez is inactive, so he's out. So I'll go Wilson and Metcalf.
Yeah, I agree.
Mike?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good morning to you, Jacob, as well. We appreciate you being here with us.
Thanks for the question,
Jacoby Myers, Travis Etienne. Please help.
Jacoby.
Etienne.
I was thinking Etienne too.
Split a little bit. Okay.
Defense.
Jacoby just gets so many targets, though, man.
I mean, that's fair. I look at
But he
Jacksonville.
doesn't
They
get
have the
touchdowns,
most.
so
Yeah, he might pass a touchdown. I suppose I'd like Myers better if Daniels was playing. If like the Commanders force the points up so much that like the Raiders have to
right.
But with Mariota, could this be a slower pace game? I know it's funny. I was talking earlier about stacking Debo with Genti, but like I don't know. I think I'm leaning Etienne as well. I've been really impressed with how much work he's gotten.
Liam calling the fact they have the most rushing yards before contact by a significant margin. We saw a huge
That's
increase
crazy.
in Tampa
That
last
was a big
year.
thing for Bucky
Yep.
last year. That was amazing.
And that's
the big
what,
reason why
and I think
Bucky's-
that's why the Bucks are struggling running the ball this year. So, like, I believe in the way he schemes it up. I think ETN, either scores or at least gets double-digit points.
Texans pass rush means you might want to run more, but B also pass the running back.
Yep.
From Jonas here. Greetings from Germany. Love it, man. I appreciate you being here. Pick 3 PPR. We got George Pickens, Brian Thomas Jr., Mecca Egbuka, Marvin Harrison Jr. Picking 3 guys. Where are we going here, Keith?
I will go Pickens, BTJ, and I guess Ibuka. Kyler Murray is so bad right now to everybody not named Trey McBride. Only 35% of his dropbacks right now are equating to an on-target pass attempt.
Come on.
I'm serious.
On,
I'll send you the graph.
Damn.
This is where I think the snap count for Egbuka scares me enough that I would bench Egbuka.
Okay. That was where my instincts went when I saw the question. Ike, where are you going to go?
Pickens, BTJ, and Marvin Harrison. I've been saying no to Egbuka all day, so might as well keep going.
Just the injury is so scary, right? Like if you're just
I don't want to do snap count stuff.
It hurts both, right? It hurts his upside, but it hurts his floor because he might aggravate it and be done for the game at some point. So,
all right. Now we got my brother here, guys, who's happy to be playing me. So make sure to send him in the wrong direction here.
All right.
Well, it sounds like I would say the rankings have already sent him in the wrong direction because I don't understand why Kyler's ranked ahead of Justin Herbert. Like to me,
Justin Herbert should be the quarterback for sure.
Yeah, I would rather have Herbert than Kyler this week, and then I would go Ridley.
Yeah.
I'm cross game stacking it. I'm going Herbert. I'm going Dobbins. I don't trust Cam Ward. I don't trust the Packers defense to give Judy any points. So eventually Ridley and Ward will have a breakout game, but I think I would just go back with J.K. Dobbins here.
Okay. Egbuka, T. Higgins, Marvin Harrison Jr. Start 1. We got to go T. Higgins here, fellas?
Yep.
Definitely not Egbuka. I don't know. I might go Marvin Harrison. Maybe I'm just overestimating Harrison too much, to be honest.
Sorry, I was laughing at what Joe Bond put in the private chat.
I mean,
you guys.
Maybe being this high on Harrison is laughable too. But
it's just the inconsistencies are so frustrating, and Keith he alluded to it. It's a lot of it to do with the quarterback, man. And I wanted Kyler to be good. I really did, and he's just very, very mediocre, right? I guess the best word you could put to it. I don't know.
And he just doesn't like Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, or something. Like everything he says is just like
I was definitely listening
telling them to shut up.
And someone said Marv just needs to get a PS4 and play COD with Kyler.
There you go. That's how you built the
Marv takes his job seriously. He's like too serious in his job. Like it doesn't work with Kyler.
Love it, man. Brandon, good to see you again. Danny Dimes or CJ Stroud. I know where Kyle's going here.
That's not a coin flip. That's the dime for sure.
Yeah. like it. Ike clean sleep with Danny Dimes over Stroud. All right.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft, Travis Kelce, AJ Brown.
I go with Kraft still.
Well, it's 2, so
2. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kraft and Brown.
There's no way I'm playing both tight ends. Not in a full PPR. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm doing Brown and
Kraft.
I'll abstain then.
Like it. DeAndre Swift or Bill from Sale here.
I told you I didn't like Swift, but I like him more than Bill. So, because I think McNichols is going to get a good bit of volume.
Yeah,
that backfield's a disaster right now. Yeah. No idea what's going on.
Chris Rodriguez is going to be active this week too, and unlike the other weeks. So, yeah, I think we kind of know what to expect. Now, is Swift still questionable?
Last I heard, he's expected to play. They said that last night.
That's the only reason I think you'd play Krosky Merritt is if you don't have a viable option at the 4. Eastern clock time window games, and you don't want to get stuck with a 0, that would be the reason to play cross scheme. But if like you've got another option to replace Swift with in case of emergency, I'd stick with Swift. That's like if without those emergency jetpack guys on questionable players, I tend to just play it safe. So if you don't have anyone else at 4 o'clock, I'd be okay going cross. I know I'm getting the active guy. Who knows? Maybe he is the lead back, and it's a good role for him. I'm not expecting it, but
yeah.
This is why those late game questionables always make sure you've got an emergency player in that way, because we all want to play Swift, but if you don't have anyone else, even if he's expected to play, we see things change. But
yeah, and then you could be forced to drop DeAndre Swift for Kyle Monungai or something, which is obviously the move you don't want to make, man. But you also don't want to take a 0, Kyle. So that's a very, very good and fair point there. From Dion here, thinking of starting Keenan Allen over Travis Hunter, and Kyle's been kind of alluding to it that this Green Bay defense is legit. So I don't hate it, and Keenan Allen's not going to get the Surtain treatment most likely. So I would probably go Keenan Allen over Hunter.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And I'm definitely rocking Green Bay defense.
They're playing the Browns. Like, I've got the Rankins the number 1 defense. Like, that's like an unquestioned starter. Did the Seahawks get the Saints, right?
Seahawks do get the Saints. Yep.
Rattler hasn't been horrible, though, so I think he'd definitely rather pick on the Browns.
All right, from Raphael, need help at the wide receiver and flex. Full PPR, Chuba, Tetaroa, Lad McConkey, or J-Mo. Scared of the Panthers O-line and QB. J-Mo, I'm scared of Goff away games. Fair. Lamar, 24-2 against NFC teams. Wow, didn't know that one. That's a fun fact as well. Getting a couple nuggets this morning. And then the Lad isn't being loved right now. So this is...
I'd still go Lad.
Wide receiver and flex, guys. Ike, you're going to go Lad. Who's your other guy?
I'll go Lad and J-Mo.
Okay, Keith?
I agree.
I have a hard time going away from a volume running back like Chuba Hubbard. So I would go him in the flex. And Lad and McMillan are basically back-to-back in my rankings. So I don't think I could fault you either way. You know what, though? The fact that I'd be taking Chuba Hubbard, I'd want to go Lad as well. I don't think I'd want to play both Panthers players. And this is a tough situation because it feels like you want it. Like McMillan almost close to being an every week starter. I guess if you have a Lad McConkey, that softens the blow.
Sure.
But for now, as long as Hubbard seems to control that backfield, I'd rather invest in starting him than start McMillan.
Are we starting George Pickens over Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra, or Zay Flowers this week? It'd be over Keenan Allen, if anybody, for me. I know I kind of just talked a little bit both sides of my mouth after what I just said about Keenan Allen the previous question, but what do you guys think about this one?
I'd do Pickens over Keenan Allen, especially with the Bears defense the way it is.
I don't really mind it either way. Like, they're both, to me, in the top 36, but outside the top 30. Like, I've got Pickens and Allen ranked pretty closely. Doesn't say if it's full PPR or half PPR, and that might just be the difference. In half PPR, I think I'd prefer Pickens, and full PPR, Keenan Allen.
Fair enough. Keith, where are you going to go here? Would you
Yeah,
go Pickens over Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra, or Zay Flowers?
I'd probably leave the 3 that you got.
Okay. For Rory, full point PPR, need to. Terry McLaurin against Vegas, Devontae Adams against Philadelphia, Jacoby Myers against Washington, Keenan Allen against Denver, Quentin Johnston versus Denver.
Adams for sure.
Devontae locked in, yep.
And then I'm going to go Jacoby.
I was leaning that way too. Yeah.
Okay. Keith, clean sweep with Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers?
Yes.
All right, another one from Rory. Swift or Pearsall for the flex? Easy Pearsall, right, guys?
Yep.
At least you get clarity of, like, this is a later game, so you know if Swift's active or not. Like, it might not even be a decision, right? If he's out, then it's easy. But I think even if he's in, I think I'd still go Pearsall.
Yep. Another one from Cody. Need one full flex PPR. Zay Flowers. Kyron Williams, I'm assuming, in a tough matchup, or Rome Odunze. Ooh.
I mean,
good question.
This is the play. Like, wow. Cody's team must be insane if you're having to bench 2 of these guys. That's crazy. Good for you, Cody. I don't even know why you're asking us. Eagles defense, but like,
I know I don't love Kyron this week. I don't love the matchup for
Zay Flowers just because the Ravens offense. We expect, like, you want that hammer on Monday night. that game environment will be so strong. You'll want a piece.
Yeah, I do Zay.
Oh, okay.
You go as Doomsday, Ike, you said?
No, Zay.
Oh, Zay.
okay.
Yeah, I heard.
I heard. Yeah, that's.
I am looking at my half PPR rankings, and they are back to back. So I still go Flowers. He's the one I have. Man, what a great team. Good for you, Cody.
Yes. And from Disco Stew, we got need to fill 2 flex spots. Travion Henderson, Devonta Smith, Chris Olave, Tootin, Downs, Fannin, Keith, will let you take it away. Need to fill the 2 flexes.
And also, I need to get to the DFS stuff, guys. 'Cause I still got to fill out some lineups, and it's already 12-16. But I would definitely go Devontae, and then I would probably, because I'm assuming it's a non-PPR.
True.
I'd probably still go Olave.
I think we're all in agreement there. Devontae Smith, Chris Olave.
All right.
Yeah.
And then Keith, give us 3 more minutes. Let's just get the rest of these questions. We'll go rapid fire here.
We'll boogie here. Like this
Yeah. Jerry Judy, Krosky, Merritt, PPR.
Judy.
I mean, I'll go Jacoski Merritt. If you can avoid playing Browns players this week, I really think you should. Who knows, right? Like he might be the lead back, and it might be amazing against the Raiders. So I'll take the upside shot there.
Jalen Warren, Chuba, or Sutton over Javonte Williams. I go
I'd
Warren
play all.
over Javonte.
I'd sit
Jalen
Sutton
Warren.
for all the running backs.
Yeah, it's a.
I
would
You know
get Javonte Williams in the lineup instead of Sutton.
I'm okay with what you said too, Ike. I'd bench Javonte, or I'd bench Warren to get Javonte. But I think you definitely have to start Hubbard and Williams for sure. But
Battle
I'm
of the
okay going all
backups.
running back. If they're all volume running backs, play them all.
Mariota, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mariota. Mariota's got the rushing. He's the last 2 games. I know Keith. He was horrible in Atlanta. He was pretty good last year. The 2 games he had to play for Washington. One of them was against Carolina. To be fair, the other one might have been against like New York or something. So they were. The Raiders, I don't think, is an outstanding defense. So I like Mariota this week. Did we miss Dylan Fink's question?
I think yes, we did.
Right here. Sorry, just before we forget it. Okay, 2 questions. Tight end and 1 flex. With Kraft injury, I want to go Juwan Johnson over Kraft. But I might just flex Kraft, honestly. Yeah, just play both tight ends.
All right, then Mariota, Mac. Oh, we talked about that one. Yeah. And then Darnold, Rodgers, Mac Jones. It's going to be Rodgers against New England for me there.
Yeah.
Baker, May, full PPR.
I like May's rushing.
Okay. DK, Javonte, JSN. Still going to go JSN.
Yeah.
Even with it sounds like he's going to play just with an illness.
Yeah. Debo, ETN here.
ETN. Encouraging
ETN.
enough volume he's getting.
ETN there.
Don't know what the offense for sure is going to be like with Mariota, so.
And then
be good,
Cup, Devonta Smith, Jerry Judy. Starting 1. Devonta Smith.
Especially with the point per first down aspect to it also means like the deeper catch receivers that are like constantly getting first downs on every reception. That boosts Smith to me. It makes it even more likely in this one.
All right, the pick, man. Collins, Thomas Jr., Allen, Pickens, Franklin, Hollywood, Brown, Bijan, Hubbard, Hall.
I mean, the 3 running backs seem obvious to me, and then the stack Collins and Thomas.
Yep.
We're gonna go Genty over Bill still.
Yep.
Javonte Williams, Debo Samuel, Jordan Mason. I'm gonna go Debo Mason here still.
I think I go both running backs.
Debo and Mason.
Okay, Jordan Mason. We just did
question.
that one. Same question. Kelsey or Kraft, full point PPR.
Kraft.
Kraft, we already said.
All right.
We just got one last one. Jacob, you got it just in time.
Pollard, Connor, Pittman, Brown.
Pick 1. I'm thinking Etienne. Just because Connor against the 49ers scares me a little bit. I mean, Etienne against the Texans could be scary too. But, yeah. I think it's Etienne.
All right, guys. This was beautiful, as always. My favorite thing during the week. We won't plug away this week. We'll let just Keith get right to the DFS stuff. So, Keith, appreciate you, and I'll talk to you guys next week. See you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Ike.
There we go. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm going to go through this really quick because there's weather. I got to change my lineups as well. QB this week, I'm going Dak. Chicago's given up 71 points again the last 5 quarters, and Dallas's defense is not very good, so I expect a lot of points in that game. But I actually like Drake May even more at 5,300. Again, Steelers giving up 30 points to both Seattle and Pittsburgh. That's not good. I would consider Daniel Jones. I mean, he's averaging almost 30 points per game, and he's still 5,400. So, running back, Bijan was my expensive guy this week. I'm still okay with rolling with him, but hearing that Juwan Johnson's out, I think CMC is, we're still back to death taxes, playing CMC in cash. The other guys I really like it back this week. Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet out. We saw last week he had over 8 yards per carry. New Orleans has struggled versus the run. Jaylen Warren, 5,500, I think is a great option. New England is going to probably give up some volume and stuff. And then Jordan Mason at 5,400. We heard Kevin O'Connell say bell cow back. I mean, it's just a great matchup. They're at home, Cincinnati. They desperately need a win. So those are the backs. The wide receivers this week, CeeDee Lamb, 8K. Like, I don't think I really have to say much other than the fact that he said he's got something special in store for Chicago. My boy Joe Matt's still really on JSN. I'm not there, but Joe is very smart. He was on JSN last week. He went off. He was on JSN week 1. He went off. So I did want to mention that. I love the guys, though, in the 5K range. Like, I think Pickens, especially like GPP, but for cash, Ricky Purcell, 5,500. Again, no Juwan Johnson. Going to see a lot of volume. Deebo Samuel, 6,100. Marcus Mariota, not very good throwing the ball down the field. We talked about that in the start sit. 33rd on deep ball completion percentage. Deebo is the underneath guy. I think you could see a huge volume. Also, maybe see some extra carries, which would be nice. Rome Odunze, we're talking about 5,300, my favorite play. It is outrageous at this point, what all Odunze is doing in year 2. We were all freaking out last year. And now he's 9th among wide receivers in targets. He ranks 2nd in red zone targets, share, and expected fantasy points. Dallas runs zone 100% of the time so far this season. Odunze versus zone, 3.49 fantasy points per target thus far this season. And if you're wondering, yes, that's very good. Juwan Jennings, again, was on my sheet. He is off. Christian Kirk is more of a GPP play. I'm playing him in cash. I think that this is why they signed Christian Kirk. I know Dave Eddy would probably slap me for having him in my cash plays or cash pool, but I love it. I know there's a lot of unknowns with him returning from injury, but this is the exact guy that they need, in my opinion, to get this offense going, and it's a great matchup versus Jacksonville. And then the other guy I just want to mention is A.O. Manor. I know I just probably butchered it again. Sorry, Joe Bun. I'm a country bumpkin. But he's 3,700. He is seeing consistent volume. Like, I mean, it's kind of wild that he's got 13 targets. He put up the 15-pointer last week. I expect Indy, again, they have not, I believe they still have scored on every single possession this season. They're going to put up points. Tight end position, I would love to play Bowers after what Tucker Kraft did last week, but it's just risky. He didn't look healthy. I would much rather play Tyler Warren for, $1,600 cheaper versus Tennessee. But my favorite play is Juwan Johnson. Again, no matter what metric you look at it, right now, Juwan Johnson is top 5 among tight ends. So that's a steal. And then from a defense perspective, again, it's another week where you just go cheap. New England, to me, is the most appealing one. Pittsburgh, offensive line looks shaky. Patriots lead the NFL in sacks. They're near the front and pressure. So I think that's a really good play. But if you want to save even more money, I think the Rams defense is for real. I think the Eagles are going to have a real hard time moving the ball on them. And 2,400 is a steal. So if you have any other questions and stuff, head over to the Discord. That's what it's there for. And my cheat sheet is available. You can check that out. I have a main slate DFS preview. And then there's just so much good NFL fantasy content on fantasy6pack.net. So you guys should check that out. Hopefully the Atlanta Falcons win again today. I need them to go 2-1. We appreciate you all being here, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.